G'day. Welcome back to another Wealth and Wisdom podcast. I'm Ben Law and I'm the Financial Bloke, back with another mini episode. These short episodes are all about giving you a spark of clarity, something to chew on between feeding the cattle, moving mobs, driving the tractor, or just poking around the paddock. Think of it as a few minutes to get out of the grind and think a bit bigger about your family, your business, and your future. Today we're talking about something that will quietly gut a family business from the inside if you don't deal with it head on, and that's entitlement. Some young people are grounded and grateful, and others, well, let's be honest, they're entitled little shits. And I've seen it enough times to know that it doesn't just happen. Now, sure, occasionally it's personality, but in my experience, 9 times out of 10, entitlement is homegrown. Grown through soft standards, grown through excuses, grown through parents doing way too much rescuing and not enough calling their kids up to a higher level of standards. The facts are that there's too many young men and women out there raised like they're made of glass. Everyone's scared to hurt their feelings. Everyone's scared to ask them to work hard. Everyone's scared to hold them to a higher standard. And that leaves the farm, the business, and the family at risk of the 3-generation curse. But here's the thing most families overlook. Rules are never going to fix entitlement. Punishment doesn't fix entitlement. Guilt trips definitely don't fix entitlement. There's one antidote I've seen work time and time again across dozens and dozens of families, and that is pride. Because pride is the antidote to entitlement. Now, I'm not talking about ego or boasting. I'm talking about earned pride, the kind that's built on sacrifice, sweat, and showing up when it's bloody hard. It's the pride in knowing that your grandparents didn't quit, your parents didn't fold when it got tough, your family clawed their way forward through droughts, markets, debt, mistakes, and long, long seasons. That kind of pride creates something powerful, and that is gratitude. And gratitude destroys entitlement like Roundup on summer weeds. Now, you cannot be grateful and entitled at the same time. You get to pick one. And the great families, the resilient, long-lasting ones, always choose pride. Now, every family I've worked with who consistently raises grounded, capable young adults, pride is the unmistakable difference. You can feel it when you walk in the door. You can feel it when you have a family meeting. It's in the way they talk about the family name, the land, the business, and how they're grateful for the opportunity. And it's not loud, it's deep. And I can tell you now, it's contagious. Now, so where does entitlement actually come from? And I want to put the cards on the table. Now, entitlement usually comes from one or more of these things. The first one, overprotecting kids from discomfort. If they never fall over, if they never learn how hard it's going to be, they'll never learn to stand back up and have a crack. Number 2, low standards. Good enough is the breeding ground of entitlement. Number 3, no responsibility early on. Kids who do nothing end up expecting everything. And number 4, a lack of connection to the family story. If they don't value where they've come from, why the hell would they value where they're going? So it's not complicated, but it's uncomfortable for a lot of families to admit. So how do you actually build pride in the next generation? Well, firstly, you don't lecture them. You don't nag them. You don't read them the riot act at age 22 and expect decades of entitlement to magically disappear. No, you live pride into them. You show them what it means to serve something bigger than themselves. You let them see the early mornings, the late nights, the tough calls, the seasons you barely scrape through. You tell the real stories, the one you don't usually talk about. Not to guilt them, but to connect them. You take them along for the hard jobs, not as punishment, but so they know what it takes. You talk openly about the family name, the values you live, and what you stand for. But above all, you remind them being part of this family business isn't a right, it's a privilege. And when they stuff up, which they will because they're human, you don't shame them. But you also don't wrap them in cotton wool. You help them understand what's at stake, why their decisions matter, why the business matters, why the family reputation matters, and why learning is all part of the journey. Because pride isn't taught in a PowerPoint. It's absorbed over time, living alongside people who have it. That's how you build pride that lasts, real pride, the kind that sticks long after ABNs or titles have changed hands. You see, young adults need standards, not bubble wrap. It's one of the biggest mistakes parents make is confusing love with softness. Kids don't need softness all the time. They need standards, and often high ones. They need accountability. They need to be spoken to straight. They need responsibility that stretches them. They need people in their life who don't walk on eggshells around them. Because if you want your son or daughter to grow up into a capable adult who's ready to lead, you can't treat them like a fragile child. You can't rescue them from everything. You can't make excuses for them. You can't hide them from discomfort, because strength grows in struggle. Pride grows in responsibility. Confidence grows in contribution, and entitlement grows in the absence of all three. Now, if you want to crush entitlement in your kids, you don't need more rules or punishments. You need pride, and not the loud kind. It's the real kind. You need enthusiasm. You need honesty. You need high standards. But above all, you need to connect them deeply to what the family has built. Because when a young person genuinely understands what they're part of, when they feel proud of it, grateful for it, and responsible for it, entitlement just doesn't survive. It's got nowhere to live. Now, if this episode hit home, I want you to share it with another farming family who needs to hear it. And if you want to dig deeper into building a high-performing family, head on over to agricoach.com.au. I'm Ben Law, I'm the Financial Bloke. And remember, it's more important who you are than what you've got. I'll see you next time.